As David Brady mentioned, my name is Terri Paddock. I consider myself a very close friend to both Propulsa and the Lion and Unicorn, and it's such a pleasure to come back here, especially because I was here nearly 4 years ago for the premiere of Flashbang in September 2022. Was anyone here for that? Obviously, David, you and I were. Anyone else? You were here. Hello, how are you doing? So then you all will remember, the three of us will remember that that night was the night the Queen died.
Yeah.
It was quite a, it was a very strange atmosphere. So I haven't checked any breaking news, but if anyone has seen that anyone has died, tell us after. Um, okay. When we got the ball rolling, we've got about, I don't know, half an hour or so. It goes very quickly. We're also going to talk to you beyond this production. We're going to talk to you about some of the fantastic upcoming work at the Lion and Unicorn. And I have a little ritual. All I say is please do not just shout out questions. Wait for me to call on you. And if you raise your hand, I will call on you quickly. So to get you used to raising your hands, I'm going to start with some questions for the audience, and you guys can take part as well. Who's on social media? Anyone on social media? Okay, David already told you, instructed you. Please do feel free to get your phones out, keep them on silent. You may take photos or videos of the Q&A. We are recording it. And please tag everyone, including myself, so we can share that further. Who has been to a Pro Forces show before? And okay, yeah. Okay, you who's been to a show, The Lion and Unicorn before? Yes. Who's got a show coming up at the Lion and Unicorn before? Coming up in the future. You? Okay. Start feeling brave. I'm going to give you your moment to share your elevator pitch with us. Who is still in touch with their childhood best friend? Nice. Who recognizes the photo of the town that was shown on the projection? Is anyone? David's going to tell us about it. And who knows they've already got a question in the past? Okay, this is very unsatisfactory, so I'm hoping you guys are going to get warmed up quickly. But let me first start things off. And by the way, those of you on the stage with me, several of you have done pages with me before, but you obviously know the show and the company better than I do. So if you think we're missing anything really key, just please do steer us in the right direction. Okay, so stage applause at the end. You know David Brady, who is artistic director of both Pro Forces Theatre and The Lion and Unicorn. I keep wanting to call you by your character's name, so I'm going to try to Robert Watts.
No.
Ben.
Ben Watts, Robert Wolfe, Ben Watts, Haydn Watts, no relation. Mike.
Charlie.
Oh my shit! Oh my god, this is embarrassing. I'm usually really, really good at this. Charlie Jobe and Robert Wolfe. I apologize. Okay. Thank you, and welcome to the company of Flashbang. Okay, so one of the things I love about doing Q&As with Pro Force in here at the Lion and Unicorn is that you have got such a family, and there are so many returnees. So I believe that all three of you, Charlie, this is your debut with Pro Forza, but the three of you have all been in shows for Pro Forza before, and Robert, you are also a playwright, and you've presented your own work here at the Lion and Unicorn. Is that right?
The Lion is shocked. How do you know?
I do know. So before we get into specifically about Flashbang, just would each of you tell us a little bit about what it is that you like about being involved with this company in this space with this theater? I'm going to start with Ben.
So I did play David before school and Little Surface Tension Breaks back in February 2025.
Yeah.
And it was a 3-week run, and it hadn't been done before. And so I found from the beginning there was an amazing collaborative element to it. It was about bringing you to the piece, to the work. And David is very, very encouraging of that. He wants the character to be your character, and that gives you an amazing amount of freedom as an actor. That's on like a more technical level, but also it's a nice place to work. David brings in always kind people, so these guys, like, it's always a kind ensemble element to it as well. So you want to come and act.
and you want to come back.
Yeah.
Haydn, what about you?
Yes. Well, I've done a couple of scratch nights here, and it's always fun because people get to put their new work forward and you get to meet loads of cool new people. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just a really welcoming and warm environment, and there's always nice people involved, as Ben said. I mean, David actually says all the time is about always wanting good humans, and that's something that's guaranteed when you're with the Forcer. Yes.
And Robert?
Yeah, so I originally did a scratch night, but not for David. I did it for Nance, no Nance. And then I did it with Bex, who's over there, who's my contact. And we did like a play basically. And then David was like brought us in to talk about it, and then I ended up doing a show for him called Volcano, which was a one-man show. Which, unlike Ben, who did it for 3 weeks, I did it for 3 nights. So I did literally 3 nights of this one-man show, so 6 nights just me talking all the way through. And then originally I actually wasn't in this cast, so then they had someone drop out. David Brady was like, "Can you please come tour?" Because I've done loads of touring and stuff before, and I was like, "Absolutely, yeah." And because I'm more than happy to do it. But also, all David's plays, I either cry or no, I don't die, do I? But I do cry a lot in all David's plays so far.
You can die the next one.
I'll die. It's because I normally cry or die in everything I do. It's very cheery.
Oh, wonderful. And Charlie, it's your first experience with Proforza. How are you finding it so far?
Yeah, I loved it. So it's my first play with Proforza, but I'm not really a stranger to the family. So I actually auditioned 4 years ago for the original cast.
You did?
Yeah, and I got down to the final few, and I didn't get it, David. But no, honestly, we had a chat after, and he said when the timing's right, it will be there. And I think I've grown as a person, grown as an actor, and he approached me for this time, and I was like, yeah, the timing's right.
Well, the time is definitely right. All of your performances were wonderful and gelled together so fantastic.
Hilariously as well, I auditioned for Dino for those.
You did?
Yeah, didn't get it, and then they cast someone else for Ryan.
And I was originally Andy.
And I also auditioned for Dean.
And Rob's in the original poster. Yeah, I'm in the poster.
You're all just sort of interchangeable. Do you not get tempted to take on each other's
Yeah.
roles?
We often fight about it.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow you're Ryan.
But the construction of the piece is quite interesting because you do have your individual characters, but you also, I don't know, what do you call it, David? Is it sort of a layered narration, the sort of multi-voice narration, which is both the narration but also the inner monologue. It's quite a textured piece.
But it started as a one-man show because Flashbang was written during that time that we don't talk about happened to children. And nobody knew what future theatre was going to be like, and so it was crafted as a one-person show, which is why the character speaks with one voice. And Jess Barton, who is like a long-term collaborator with the company, said, "Well, hang on a minute, there needs to be more humans in this." So that's when the piece was broken up into the individual characters. Then you get the opportunity to then see a different point of view. So it started as being Ryan's point of view, and then we added in what would the other friends sound like, and it just felt interesting to tell kind of a chorusy type story with that one person's point of view with like his mates who then get the chance to swap in and swap out character. So it makes there's like a universality to it, that a word? Is now, in terms of creating the piece. And then as it's evolved, there's no way you could go back and you'd never make Flashbang a one person show again. It's absolutely the way it makes sense. And I think with it being like a 5-a-side football team and stuff, then it all kind of locked together and we're like, okay, that's how we're going to deliver that show. That's the plot we're going to deliver.
Okay.
And it's been really fun to kind of put together and see how we kind of cross over.
And bring in different people and swapping around. It has come on quite a journey since we were here in 2022. Tell us a little bit about that, and also actually tell us the significance of the town voting.
So where do we start the journey? So like I say, written during the pandemic, it was going to be the first thing that we did when we reopened the space. And then that never happened because it wasn't the right time. We had a cast that didn't work. It was like social distancing, we were tape on the floor. This square is actually a nod to that social distancing thing where nobody could be more than a metre away. It's exactly 2 metres apart. So we kept it. The show then did 2 runs here and has started to look at touring. So we are in the middle of a tour at the moment, which has been kind of a bucket list thing for the company. It was the show that I think has got the most commercial kind of like it speaks to the most people. And we've been very lucky that we did a run of it south of the river in January, and we're on this tour at the moment. So last week we did 700 miles in a van with a man called Pablo, who has got 8-foot dreadlocks. And we went to.
He's not here tonight. I'm so
Pablo's
disappointed.
not here tonight, no, but he was definitely a real person.
What's Pablo?
So exactly a week ago tonight, we went to Manchester, then we went to Buxton, then we went to Hull, then we went to Basingstoke, then we went to Colchester, and then we came home again. 2 nights here, and then we go to the Belgrade Theatre in Coventry. This is where the journey comes in. Flashbang is written about Coventry, which is where I'm from, and it's set in Coventry, and so it goes home to Coventry. So the last performance of Flashbang will be in a place that 10 years ago was inspired the company and inspired the show, and it will have its final performance there on Saturday.
And that's the town.
That's the Ilford.
Oh, that's
Coventry exists. But if you close your eyes and think really, really hard enough, it will be Coventry. What is Coventry, though, is the tower block that Mikey falls on. Spoiler alert, it goes in the show today. That's a real tower block, it's a real place. And it's next to the Belgrade. So Mikey is going to fall off that tower block into the Belgrade car park next.
Oh my goodness.
Just completely.
Are you going to specify the place when you take it to Coventry?
I think
But they'll recognise the building.
Yeah, there's enough references in the show. I don't know if any of you watch the football, but Coventry got promoted to the Premier League. Nearly said third division. No one liked football. To the Premier League this week. And so the sense of celebration about it, when they talk about the team that played elsewhere, and that's all Coventry references. So everybody will get it in the room, I think. And the Irish club that's at the end of the show is a very recognisable place in Coventry. So there are lots of places that are obliquely mentioned that you know.
And they're going to. That's so exciting. So why was the tour a bucket list? It's a really significant, new venture for Wilson.
Yeah, we're growing, right? And it's been a mission since you and I started in this room, since we took over the line uniform in March of 2019, to see about platforming the work that we places. It's been a real joy to take the work to other audiences that don't know us, that don't know about what we do. And I said this to the guys on Friday. I think it's really important that our work now starts to hold its own in big spaces. Fringe theatre work in particular is sometimes looked down upon by people that would rather go and see another tribute show or would rather go and see something that they really know about. So it's actually for us about taking the punt on work. And this is like the whole project designed to like turbocharge what we do here in this venue. And go to places and go, look, what we do is important. What we've got to say, people will want to come and see. It's a journey, right? It's an audience journey, nothing else. But I think the time for really brilliant Fringe theatre work to start to transfer into those spaces, somebody has to do it. And somebody has to put a line in the sand. So this year for me, it's been a little bit about going, like, I'm going to fucking do it if nobody else is going to do it. Which is why we're going to get in the bus with the Michael Pablo and drive to these places. Because I want Fringe theatre work to be seen not just by this London bubble anymore, but by people who will see it and will relate to it.
And can I say something, ask something controversial? If it's too controversial, I'll cut it out. But why is why are Lion Unicorn not Arts Council funded? And is the tour Arts Council funded?
So, no. I'm the only person that know that we got turned down for Arts Council funding a couple of weeks ago. They haven't seemed to tell us yet. Now you can put that on the video and I can tell us really what people. That system's a mess. It's long-winded. It's the competition for it is fierce. And particularly now, they've got troubles of their own, like with logistical challenges in the Arts Council funding, not just in terms of numbers, but like their systems just don't work. And they haven't worked for a long time, which is a shame. But what I am going to say is that means that we're going to do this on our own, and we have. We've paid every actor the right wage that they should be being paid. We've paid every creative that we've worked with the exact same wage, and we're doing it off our own back, rather than waiting for somebody to fund us to do it. Because if it's important, then that's what we fight for.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay, so actors, how are you enjoying being on tour, and what have the reactions in different places been like so far? What's been your favourite place?
I mean, I like touring. I've done quite a lot of it in my career. I think I've done like 3 shows in London, well, and all the rest of the time here, there, and everywhere. But it is quite fun. Weirdly, Basingstoke was like amazing. Like their theatre, like the tech setup in there was like crazy good. But also, Colchester's very nice. Turns out, who knew?
Anybody from Colchester?
That'll be like Colchester. But yeah, no, because we haven't actually been to too many places yet. We just sort of once again, I've spent a lot of time in a band with a man called Paddock.
What about the prospect of performing in Coventry, especially with everything that David's just said? Is that, I mean, that must be exciting to know that people in the audience will really recognise some of the things you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think we've all said together that that is the place we're probably looking forward to the most, and it's quite nice that it's at the end of the tour as well. We've kind of had a run up to it. I think when Coventry won the league, Belgrade did a ticket discount, which then sold like 50 plus tickets. So we know that there's going to be locals there who hopefully will connect to the story, and that's an amazing. And the theatre itself, the B2 in the Belgrade, looks awesome. So very excited. It's just fun as an actor to perform in different spaces.
Anything to add?
Well, tour's been fun, isn't it? We get to share a room, which is nice.
Oh, great.
In the hotel.
Every morning they wake up and they're like, we've had awful sleep, but why? We kept talking.
Are you all friends? Feels like
I
it.
literally met them.
Monday.
Yeah,
Last
Monday last week. Yeah.
And you don't like them at all?
I knew Ben already, but these two I met Monday last week.
I do just want to say, because it's important to say it, like, Rob arrived at the show Friday of last week, so that's 4 days rehearsal, which is immense and amazing. And like to join a cast like that and gel and feel like they've known each other for a really long time as a director is a really nice thing. So yeah, I mean they're all amazing, but 4 days rehearsal is a particular.
And that's what I was going to say as well. Just following on to that. Obviously, me, Ben, and Haydn were a little bit like new actor coming in, new Ryan. How's it going to be? But he just fit in so seamlessly. Like,
Okay, I'm looking for hands. Any hands? Any hands? Yeah.
I want to know what the starting point of the piece was.
What is the starting point?
It's written about boys that grow up in small towns and never want to leave. So I mentioned that Coventry connection. It's written about a very specific group of boys that still live in that town. We'll all come and see the show on next Saturday, which is quite scary, but there you go. I think also we see loads of negative portrayals of men in the media. Like, I'm sick of hearing about bloody master and what I mean by that is I think that it's a very one-sided view of male friendships and men in particular. And listen, there's so many problems, I get it. But I also think that somebody needs to offer an alternative. And I think that's like friendship is really important regardless of where it comes from. And that I think it's an alternative point of view that we don't see in the media about blokes. And I think that whole adolescence narrative took up so much of the space of time last year, which is really, really important. But you also see really positive portrayals of blokes in the media. One of the influences for it was the boys in Gambling Station. I think they've got a really nice friendship and they never want to leave. And I think it's important that we wrap our arms around those humans, not just the boys that are in the show, but there is an extended universe, right? There's a world in which that's a television series where you meet, Leanne and Fat Wayne and all of the other people we talk about. But I think that male friendship is really core to the story. And again, the idea that it's okay to live in this. We all live in London and we live in this bubble because lots of us moved here because we didn't like where we grew up. We didn't find opportunities there. We've been to towns where people have brought their teenage sons to watch the show and they've seen themselves, and that's really, really nice. That mums have seen that show with their sons, and I think that's also really important too because they get really, warm and fuzzy. It's been an opportunity for those lads to see something that's a bit closer to their lives than the kind of slightly grim adolescence view of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No.
Also, it's kind of important, I think, to let young men know that it's okay to cry and stuff like that. And this play really does that. Like dealing with grief is like a sort of framework for actually what these men are going through. I think it is very important for young men, especially, to see people who they can look up to or whatever, and be like, yes, it's okay for me to show my emotions, and it's okay. And the shower scene is obviously I'm freaking out on the floor and stuff, but like having his dad come in and tell him it's okay, stuff like that, which I think it's really important for men to be able to see that and understand that their mental health is important.
There's also an element of we see you in that shower scene, right? So when it's all kicking off, I still find it really uncomfortable to watch, and I've watched Flashbang what was it, 87 times today. And I see something new in it every time. But the fact that he says at the end that him and his dad never talk about it, but they had that moment, I think is really important. There's something in the relationship between, there's a father and son thing in Flashbang that creeps out occasionally. You get it with Mikey and his dad, you get it, Jules and Big Nigel in particular. So I think that's also really important as well, to bring that relationship out between like grown-up kids and their parents that are all still living in that same world. I think it's really important too.
It's a really beautiful friendship between the five of them. And I have to say, it's very much clearly a game of two halves, if I'm sorry, one metaphor, because the energy changes so much after you find out what happened that night to Mikey.
I actually felt a little bit bad when he fell off the balcony.
Well, it was really.
Everyone was having such a good time. Like, he fell off the balcony and I was like, we have ruined the evening. Yeah. I was laughing, having a good time. I was like normally it's not that bad.
Was it a shock? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Was it a shock? Did you see it?
I thought he would. The first time I saw it, obviously, not the second, but especially with the premonition at New Year's Eve, I thought maybe he was struggling, Mikey himself was struggling with mental health issues, and there might be a different type of end to his life. So it made it that much more shocking that he died so abruptly when he had something to celebrate so much.
It was taking him to the highest possible point,
Yeah.
physically, emotionally, and then dropping him off the edge. I think you have to take that character up to the highest possible point for it to feel like shocking.
Yeah.
And hopefully you achieve the shock.
You do.
Yeah.
But for actors, how is that for you to sort of navigate that change in energy? You know, to get yourself really pumped up. And didn't you all completely relate to those evenings that felt like anything was possible and the world was all good? Then you're going out that day. It's so much fun. You really captured that really well. But do you feel that you've got to, prepare for the two halves of the play in different ways?
I mean, I think you and I are quite lucky because we have these two having quite big monologues for us to like sort ourselves out a little bit in between quite big scenes and stuff. But yeah, I think it is quite a big jump from being so elated, and it's worse for you guys because I sort of know what's going on because it's my inner monologue, and I'm sort of you might not have noticed, but I was stood at the back. I wasn't really celebrating as much as they were at the front. So like when the guy rides past his bike and they all put their thumbs up, I'm still at the back because I know what's about to happen. So I actually get a little bit of time to like switch into the gear, whereas these guys have to just like jump straight in. So yeah, it's a little bit harder for you guys, but
It is a very drastic switch. But I also think, and I don't know if this sounds really unprofessional, but because we've done the play enough, we know it's coming. So there's an essence of preparation in the back of your head, and at the end of the day, it is just like, it sounds really wanky, but it is just acting. So we're pretending to be happy, and then we're pretending to be sad. So that's a really poor answer.
Very honest answer. It's a very honest answer.
it sounded like you were about to start doing the independent thing. It's like I pretend to be a wizard.
But you also have the change from being on stage altogether and like beautiful movement with choreography, and you really do move as well.
Yeah, shout out Lucy Glassberg.
Lucy Glassberg, thank you, movement. But in addition, as Robert said, you also then go into moments of total monologue on the stage on your own. Does that feel scary being out there, especially after these two? You, as you say, have to be out there right after the game show.
Go on. I was going to say, I think my monologue, weirdly, I kind of still have them there, connected with me. So they're there in the New Year's Eve party. So weirdly, it kind of is like my friends are still there, but from Jason's perspective, he's kind of pulled away from it, and that premonition comes to fruition. So, but yeah, for mine, I guess I'm on stage with them, used to.
I really enjoyed it, not in an ego way, but just because it's a time where I can actually breathe, and it's a very fast pace and all of this, and it's a lot of energy, and you have to do a lot. So it's a nice moment, and also we know the audience is there, so it's nice to be able to sit and actually chat to the audience. And I also think it's a very, very beautifully written monologue, so it's nice to kind of connect and reflect on it. So yes, it's scary, but that's just because you're acting in front of people. But it's fun. It's fun.
And then you're going to commune with the ghost.
Yeah, exactly. So it is scary, and I will sometimes on a run, the scene before I'll think, oh god, I've got a monologue next. But then I start talking about a goat, so then it's fine. And honestly, that is a beautiful thing about that monologue, which I find accessible, is that it starts fun, and I quite enjoy that. And then it goes maybe a little bit deeper, but still treading on the line of fun and sad.
Yeah.
So I think it's an easy way for me to go in.
Any more hands? Would you got other hands? Tell us about the childhood photos. Did I miss a hand? No. Tell us about the childhood photos. Did you choose them or did your mum?
Shout out to my mum who sent me it, who's over there. That's actually the second time that photo has been used in a play. Different plays.
I don't think your photo looks like you at all as well.
This is a debate we've
Also,
had.
people laugh when Mikey's photo comes up. Like this, every other show we've done except for this one, someone's laughed. They're like, look at that guy. We're like, he's dead.
You're going to regret laughing.
Yeah.
Who is the Mikey photo? Is it Greg?
She's Greg.
We tried to get
He's
him in
a
so many
lovely man called Dan.
It's an actor called Dan Nash.
Yeah, Dan Nash. He has been
Yeah.
Mikey since the beginning of time. And
And he's
this isn't my
childhood
story.
Mikey and Mikey.
Yeah, both of them have done that shit. But this isn't my story, but he has brought his mum and dad to see Flashbang. It was like, yeah, I'm in it.
Floods of tears.
Yeah. It's like, when do you come out?
It's funny as well because one of Rob's lines is like, "Oh, we're about 5 or 6 when we took that photo." I'm 11. So I don't know what I said.
He missed the memo.
Yeah. I don't think I'm 5 or 6. I think I'm 7 or 8 maybe.
David, where's your childhood photo?
I don't know. We tried to find one, but I couldn't find it.
That would be a weird explanation, wouldn't it? Like, when there's Mikey and David who wrote this show, a really weird meta word.
But before we move on to talk about the season overall, and do say if I've missed anything, but I wanted to come back to something Robert and I were having a chat about before we started, and that is the music in the piece, which is so evocative. And by the way, I love that Chumbawamba song. I'm very angry that your character thinks it's a loser song. But how important is the music? And David, you've got a playlist for each show that you do?
Yeah, the music for this is kind of influenced the creation of it, the whole show, and it feels a bit dated now. I think it's because there's not music like that anymore. There was a period in like the 2010s where it was kind of a bit like laddie, indie, hard-fi, rudimental, like those kind of songs. But they fit that world so much, and I just think that like there's a playlist at the beginning that some of you can't hear because you're in the bar. Absolutely fine. But even like the curation of that playlist goes right back to the beginning, like when the show starts. It always starts with "Yes, so I can do what I tell you," and then it carries on through hard-fi and lots of stuff. I think if you could sum those boys up in the music, it makes real sense. But there's also a sense of woven through the story of like, come on, Eileen is in there, you can hear it in the party, but it's like stuff you would hear in the distance. And I think that those boys kind of like, chant music. So you talk about Chumbawamba, which is a real thing. It's just a joy to put that music in the piece because it's life. And I know that it's coming 3 seconds back and I can watch it go and I'm going, okay, like this music's going to kick in now. And it just gives it a depth, I think, that it didn't have before. And they're just fun, nice songs that they speak to that world, I think.
Also, side note, sorry, there's one line that I have which wind down to you up saying that the Arctic Monkeys are sharp. I love the Arctic Monkeys. I've got the Arctic Monkeys tattoo. So it's very upsetting I have to say that line every night, but I just want to make that known. Thank you for hearing my story.
I think I noticed you flinch at that moment. But is the music helpful for you guys to like get into character?
It really is, yeah. I think David shared the playlist with us at the beginning of the process, and I was going through the songs, and it was just taking me back to my childhood. And like, I grew up with my best friends from nursery, and we're still best friends now. So for me, it's like a really nostalgic, like weird moment when I was prepping for the role. But music is like a massive thing. I was in the car listening to Busy Rascal and all the old songs. Yeah, but yeah.
What were you thinking about?
Well, most of those songs are a little bit older than me. So I know them in like a nostalgia sense. They were never songs I'd listen to.
Do you want to tell them the year? Make it feel really old.
Yeah. When was you born? Well, 2001. Stop. We've got younger people.
Oh, great.
But yeah,
So
like
actually, is Haydn your son?
Yes, he could well be.
I've given you enough credit.
Ben's 53.
Yeah, I play young.
But yeah, the music's nice. It's always nice to. I like that we can relate to the songs in it, and they're not just there for like shift's sake. Especially, I don't mean to speak arrogantly, but like one of them kind of starts with that song, and I think it's a really nice lyric as well. You get knocked down, you get back up again. I don't know the rest. Was it life's never going to get you down or something? No.
I think pretty much all of us in the room are singing, but we will save you the.
But like it's a very nice, it's a nice song, and I like how there's such a negative reflection on it because of such a beautiful memory. So I think music's great.
I think there's one particular piece of music that's threaded throughout the whole piece, which is you can hear it at the beginning and at the end. It sounds like the Haydn song, but it's not. It's "We'll Live and Die in These Towns" by the Enemy. And the Enemy are from Coventry. See also the Premier League thing this weekend. Like everybody in Coventry is singing it, so it's threaded throughout like the language of that city. And for me, it's important to hear it at the beginning and at the end, and nothing other than those few bars that you hear. It's kind of like their story. So if you ever listen or watch a concert again, like we'll live and die in these towns, and that's what those boys talk about. It's that song is threaded into like their literal lives. So when the tour bus was going around Coventry, like the celebration bus, you could hear it from everywhere. And I think that's what's going to give it super resonance when it goes home. Saturday is that song is literally part of the city.
I think we should get funding from the Coventry Tourist Board because this really makes me want to go to Coventry. Okay, so exciting culmination for Flashbang, but lots of exciting stuff coming up beyond that, David, for both Perforsa and where Perforsa sits here at the Line in Unicorn. Tell us a little bit about what's coming.
So Perforsa wise, we have just cast our next show, which is very exciting. It's called Big Love, and it's a one-man show about love and how people experience love in different ways. So that's October, and that sits in a season of work which is called Here For Season, and the theatre is going to contribute a significant financial stipend to three companies for them to bring their work here to the venue. And so Perforsa is going to support that.
And that's a first for you.
It's a first, and I don't think there's lots of British theatres that are actually doing it, so we're going to put our money where our mouth is. We've chosen those companies, and there's some really exciting work coming up, so that's really exciting. And Big Love is the kind of 10th peg in that season of brilliant stuff. So that's really exciting. And then I have been going on some clandestine missions over the last couple of weeks, and we're just about to sign off, we think, on the biggest thing that we've ever done. And it's not here, it's going to be somewhere else. And it's mentally, it's amazing, if we can pull it off.
You're teasing us.
I am, for reasons that I think that we talked about earlier on, about bringing the work to other places. It's legitimately, so it's what I can tell you is it's site specific, it's massive, and it's weeks long.
And it's illegal as well.
It's illegal.
It's rave off the MC.
We're breaking so many laws.
But it's genuinely the most exciting thing that I've ever thought about doing. So we've got some really, really brilliant exciting projects in the pipeline for the company, which is really exciting.
Okay, fantastic. So we have some other people who are bringing their work here. Who put your hand up? Who's going to give us a little elevator pitch? Yeah, second row there, please.
Hello.
What's your name? What's your company? What are you bringing?
My name is Olivia Meredith, and please, Laura and Peterson. We don't have a company. We're starting, but we're going to bring it faster to Camden.
Camden Friend.
Yes. It's the first weekend. It's based off the real life story of the most famous actor in the 19th century America, Edwin Booth, and his more infamous younger brother, failed actor and presidential assassin.
John Booth.
So it's about their relationship, and Edwin, who was a real life spiritualist, holds a seance at trying to summon his dead wife, and his brother shows up instead. So that's what
John Wilkes Booth is the one who shot Abraham Lincoln. Ooh,
Theatre.
at the theatre, indeed. Anyone else? Were there any other people bringing work? Is that it? Okay. Okay. Well, there's a lot of other work coming up. So I want to then just have I missed anything important, David? What else do you want to talk about? No. Okay. So I'd like to finish with a question that everybody on my panel wants to answer. I'm going to give you a choice. Given the play is about friendship, I want to hear who your best friend was a child, if you're still in touch with them, and one word to describe them, or what you would add to the Spotify playlist.
Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys.
Spotify playlist.
That's an easy option.
Yeah.
You better watch this. My best friend was called Jack. Still is my best friend. Known each other since we were in nappies, and still my best friend.
And one word to describe Jeff?
Funny.
Hayden.
So my friend, any Paolo Nutini song. That's my answer. Sorry.
The song
okay.
question seems really rough now.
You can come back and answer the friend one of you.
My best friend is at the back.
Oh.
I knew this question was going to come. No, but we have a group of best friends, and she is one of them, so I absolutely will say her.
And one word to describe Lucy?
Warm.
And David, what question would you like to answer?
I think there's one song that never made it. Not necessarily make it to the place to make it to the show, and that's Dry Your Eyes.
I know it's hard to say, but
I know that one. Which really was where the story started. And somebody that's very special to the show used to play it a lot. And when I think about where it started, that's where that song really reminded me of that. But it's almost too special to put in the show. So I have to find a sort of second tier song that go around.
And is this the person who was a friend of yours that you found?
No. It's the person who inspired it that would be inspired from that.
Okay, we won't say any more then. Okay, so David, just remind us, there's one more performance here, and then
Tomorrow night here, the last time that Flashbang gets performed in Kentish Town, which is really exciting. I forgot to talk about we've had our work licence by a bit company. So and it's a central breaks that Ben talked about was going to Norwich for the so shout out to them, taking our work on. But last time to watch Flashbang here because they are probably going to take Flashbang and take it on its first non-professional outing, which is lovely. Then we go to the Belgrade for 3 nights on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
okay, very good. Okay, so audience, you've been wonderful. You are now champions for Perforsa, Line and Unicorn, and all these guys. So please do make sure you follow all of them on social media, give them a big shout, and do come back as instructed. And when we give them all a big clap, I'm going to get them up. We're going to do some group shots. So if any of you would like to take photos and share that, that'd be great. But meanwhile, please join me and thank you. Let me try to put names right now. David and Ben.